The condition known as arthritis is regarded as the Mount Rushmore of all ironies in life. It's a monument to the endless hours of toil and fun that you have had in life. Arthritis is the unwelcome guest who sweeps into your home, turning your life upside down and refuses to leave. Its annoyance stems from the complexity of buttoning shirts, the audacity of opening pickle jars, and the surprising revelation that socks are, in fact, the mortal enemy of those plagued with knee osteoarthritis. I promise you, it's more annoying than it sounds. Especially when you start to view yourself as the superhero whose only weakness is a cold draft and a flight of stairs. Then you realize there is no peace in your house because arthritis is a picky eater who flares up and inflicts pain if you don't comply with its meal choices. So, my dear people, grab a hot cup of tea, find your most comfortable armchair, and brace yourself for the enlightening on the top 10 foods to avoid if you're suffering from arthritis. This will teach you how to make informed decisions about your diet and improve the quality of your life with this condition. You'll also learn how to adjust your eating habits to improve mobility and reduce pain from this unwelcome guest. First up is processed foods. These foods contain trans fats, which can trigger systemic inflation. This includes items like fast food, packaged snacks, and baked goods. Those midnight snacks of chips and cookies might just well be the reason why your joints sound like bubble wrap every morning. Processed foods can have several disadvantages for individuals with arthritis due to their nutritional content and potential to cause inflammation. Here are some specific ways in which they may adversely affect people with this condition. Many processed foods are high in sugars, unhealthy fats, and omega-6 fatty acids. These all contribute to inflammation in the body, which is the main feature of arthritis and can worsen its symptoms. Processed foods often contain a high number of calories and a low amount of nutrients, a combination that can lead to weight gain. Being overweight puts extra pressure on weight-bearing joints and can accelerate the breakdown of cartilage in conditions like osteoarthritis. Obesity is also a state of low-grade inflammation in the body, which worsens arthritis. Certain food additives found in processed foods, such as monosodium glutamate, MSG, may worsen inflammation and pain. It can adversely affect the gut microbiome, the bacteria in our digestive tract, leading to a condition known as dysbiosis. Emerging evidence suggests that this contributes to systemic inflammation and may have a role in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Regular consumption of processed foods might indicate an overall lifestyle that's less health conscious, with possible lower levels of physical activity, both of which could contribute negatively to arthritis management and general well-being. Remember, everyone's body is different, so the degree to which processed foods affect one person's arthritis might not be the same for another person. Another type of food to avoid is red and processed meat. Both are high in saturated fats and promote inflammation. As a steak lover, this one cuts deep. But let's face it, those delicious Sunday roasts might just be the secret sponsor behind your knees discomfort. When red meat is cooked, especially at high temperatures, and is consumed, it can contain compounds known as advanced glycation end substances. These substances can cause inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, which could lead to arthritis. A substantial intake of red meat may impact the gut microbiome, altering its composition and potentially exacerbating the inflammation associated with arthritis. Those who eat a lot of processed and red meat products may have an increased risk of rheumatoid arthritis. Incorporating other sources of protein, such as poultry, fish, beans, and lentils into the diet are healthier options. Next up are sugary drinks, sweets, and desserts. They can trigger the release of proteins in the body called cytokines, which stimulate inflammation. The sweet, sweet enemy. It turns out those afternoon sugar crashes might be accompanied by the sound of your joints playing the castanets. Sugary foods and beverages are high in calories and contribute to weight gain and obesity. Being overweight or obese puts extra stress on your weight-bearing joints, like knees and hips, which exacerbate osteoarthritis symptoms. Obesity is also associated with systemic inflammation, which worsens arthritis symptoms. Consuming too much sugar leads to the development of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Both conditions are linked with increased systemic inflammation. Sugary drinks, sweets, and desserts offer little nutritional value and can displace healthier, nutrient-dense foods in your diet. A lack of nutrients like vitamins, minerals, fiber, and healthy fats can potentially contribute to inflammation and weaken overall health of your joints. Switching to a balanced diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats will be beneficial. Then we have the all-purpose salt. Consuming large amounts of salt can exacerbate inflammation, so it's best to limit the intake of salty foods and check labels for sodium content. Salt, or sodium chloride, is an essential nutrient that plays a key role in many bodily functions, including fluid balance and nerve transmission. However, a high intake of salt can have several potential negative effects on health, including arthritis. Who knew that too much salt could turn your body into a life-size jerky? High salt intake is associated with high blood pressure. Hypertension can harm blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the joints and also causing the body to retain more water. This can result in bloating and increased pressure within the joints and potentially increasing arthritis symptoms. A high salt diet may lead to calcium loss, which could affect bone health over time. This might be particularly problematic for individuals with arthritis who may already have concerns about bone health. Moderation in sodium intake is advised, and people with arthritis might want to pay particular attention to their salt consumption. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams a day, and moving toward an ideal limit of no more than 1,500 milligrams per day for most adults. This is particularly important for those with high blood pressure. As always, it's best to consult with a healthcare provider or a dietitian before making significant dietary changes. Next on the list is alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption leads to inflammation and worsens arthritis symptoms. Alcohol has various effects on arthritis, and these effects depend on the amount of alcohol consumed and the specific type of arthritis. Those happy hours could lead to unhappy mornings and afternoons and nights, basically unhappy joints all around. Alcohol can interact with several medications commonly used to treat arthritis, such as nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, and methotrexate. These interactions lead to side effects like stomach ulcers, liver damage, and an increased risk of infections. Chronic heavy drinking can lead to lower bone density and a higher risk of fractures. This is especially relevant for individuals with arthritis, who may already have compromised bone health due to their condition or its treatment. Beer is a well-known trigger for gout, a painful form of inflammatory arthritis that mainly affects the big toe, but can also affect other joints. Alcohol increases the level of uric acid in the body, leading to gout flares. Discuss your alcohol consumption with your healthcare provider, especially due to potential interactions with medications. At number 6, we have refined carbohydrates. Foods like white bread, white rice, and pastries are high in refined carbs. Refined carbs increase inflammation in the body, making arthritis symptoms more severe and triggering other health issues such as high blood triglycerides and blood sugar levels and causing insulin resistance. All of these are major risk factors for heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Instead of white carbs, choose whole or multigrain options. Also, watch for added sugars in your foods. Look for ingredients that end in OSE, such as sucrose and dextrose. Try cutting back on soda, candies, and processed foods. Next up, we have fried foods. These foods often contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which can lead to inflammation if consumed in excess. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, and a cacophony in the knees, but so delicious. Many fried foods contain trans fats, a type of fat that can increase inflammation in the body and decrease the body's response to anti-inflammatory drugs. This can make the symptoms of arthritis more severe and harder to manage. Many people with arthritis are at a higher risk of developing heart disease. The high levels of saturated and trans fats in fried foods can increase cholesterol levels and lead to heart disease. Next on the list is polyunsaturated cooking oils. Did you ever think that the innocent-looking bottle of polyunsaturated oil sitting on your kitchen shelf might be conspiring against your joints? Well, oils such as corn, soybean, canola, and sunflower oils, which are commonly used in restaurants and at home, are high in omega-6 fatty acids but very low in omega-3s. This imbalance can lead to inflammation, since most individuals do get enough omega-3s from sources such as salmon, flax, walnuts, and chia. To balance out these oils, arthritic symptoms worsen. Strike a balance by inviting more omega-3 rich foods to your dinner table. Last up, we have nightshade vegetables. These are a family of plants known scientifically as Solanaceae. This family includes many commonly consumed vegetables, as well as some herbs and spices. Bet you didn't see that coming. Sorry, tomatoes, peppers, goji berries, eggplants, paprika, tobacco, and tomatillos, but you're on the arthritis naughty list. These vegetables are a regular part of many diets and are rich in nutrients like vitamin C and potassium. However, they contain alkaloids such as solanine and capsaicin, which can cause problems for some people. This vegetable can increase inflammation and should be avoided by those with inflammatory diseases such as arthritis. Diet is just one factor that can impact arthritis and should be considered alongside other lifestyle factors and treatment options. Always consult with a healthcare professional or dietitian to discuss dietary changes, as everyone is different and may react differently to certain foods. It's also important to maintain a balanced diet to support overall health. Doing these will help you control your uninvited guest, arthritis.